Good morning to one and all who is seeing this video. So this is one of my presentation and one of my first presentation which I'm going to upload on YouTube, so that I've created a channel. As considering the situation of the lockdown and the students taking a lot of efforts for reading, I thought of helping out you and making some notes and making the class interesting. So the famous person and the famous quote goes like this: "My favorite things in life don't cost any money. It's really clear that the most precious resource we all have is time." Which is given by the famous person known as Steve Jobs. I'll start with one of my favorite topics, and that is the microbiology, which is kind of dry also. That is Streptococcus. So the minimum contents will include introduction, classification, Streptococcus pyogenes in detail. In that we'll read about morphology, cultural characteristics, biochemical reaction, resistance, antigenic structure, toxins, enzymes, pathogenesis, epidemiology, laboratory diagnosis, and treatment. Also, we'll learn about various groups of streptococci with enterococcus than Streptococcus viridans. Okay, so coming on to Streptococcus in general, Streptococcus is a gram-positive cocci arranged in chains, and it is an important human flora which causes pyogenic infection. Best growth is seen in fermentable carbohydrates, glucose, like glucose, blood, and serum. So the classification of Streptococcus. Streptococci is classified based on oxygen requirement, aerobic and facultative anaerobes and obligate anaerobes. So the aerobic and facultative anaerobes are further divided based on the hemolysis category, that is alpha hemolytic, beta hemolytic, and gamma hemolytic, while the obligate anaerobes include the peptostreptococci. The alpha hemolytic will include the viridians group, while the gamma hemolytic will include the enterococcus group. The alpha hemolytic group is classified into species by physiological and biochemical properties. Similarly, the gamma hemolytic group, that is the enterococcus group, is classified into species by physiological and biochemical properties. The beta hemolytic group is divided based on that of the serological grouping, that is carbohydrate C. It has 20 Landsfeld groups, that is from A to V without INJ, and the serological typing is done based on the Griffith types, that is 1, 2, 3, etc., more than 150. Coming on to detail about Streptococcus pyogenes, which can occur as an important essay question. So Streptococcus pyogene, the morphology includes it's an individual cocci which is spherical to oval in shape. It has a zero point 0.5 to 1 micrometer in diameter and it is arranged in chains. And Streptococcus is a gram-positive, non-motile, non-sporing, and some species contain a capsule which is made of hyaluronic acid. Coming on to the cultural characteristics, the cultural characteristics will include they are aerobes or facultative anaerobes, and as usual the growth is always seen better at 37 degrees Celsius, which is the room temperature, and the best growth is seen in the medium containing blood, serum, or sugars. There are some special medias on which these cultural characteristics will be visible more, that is the blood agar, selective media, and the liquid media. In the blood agar, overnight incubation forms small colonies between zero point 0.5 to 1 millimeter with pinpoint circular semi-transparent low convex with a wide zone of beta hemolysis, and the hemolysis and growth is promoted by 10% carbon dioxide in the environment. Coming on to the selective media, 1 is to 5 lakh crystal violet, that is the blood agar, permits growth of streptococci. Coming on to the liquid media, as usual, the liquid media is common, that is the glucose broth occur as a granular turbidity and bacterial chain which are heavier will settle down. Coming on to the biochemical reactions, that is the streptococci is a catalase negative enzyme. Coming on to another point, that is it is not soluble in 10% bile, unlike Streptococcus pneumoniae. The resistance, so there are some resistance which is shown by the organism as it is delicate and inactivated at 56 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes, and also it is rapidly inactivated by antiseptics and susceptible to sulfonamides and antibiotics. So the takeover message from this slide is the morphology, which will include the main points, is spherical slash oval in shape and arranged in chains with a gram-positive bacteria, and it's a gram-positive bacteria in nature. The culture will include blood agar, selective media, and the liquid media. And the biochemical reactions will include streptococci is a catalase negative organism, and the resistance will be it is inactivated at 56 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. Coming on to the antigenic structure, this is one of the diagram which is there in our famous textbooks, and it is drawn by hand. It includes three main stuffs in that of the antigenic structure. There is a capsule which is present on group B streptococci, and presence of capsule will inhibit the phagocytosis. Coming on to the group specific polysaccharide antigen, that is the cell wall is composed of outer layer of protein C, that is fimbriae containing protein and lipothioic acid. The middle layer is made up of group specific C carbohydrate, and the inner layer is made up of peptidoglycan, which is a mucoprotein, and this peptidoglycan will help to provide a rigidity to the cell wall. Coming to the type specific antigen, that is, it is the outer part of cell wall containing protein and antigens. So every organism has its own toxins and enzymes. So describing about the toxins in general, the toxins are divided into two, that is hemolysin and streptococcal pyogenic exotoxin. So the hemolysin is divided into two, that is the streptolysin O and streptolysin S. So the streptolysin O is oxygen liable, inactivated in oxygen, and it is heat liable and lyses the red cell. And the streptolysin S is oxygen stable, it has an hemolytic property, leukocidal action, and protein in nature, but it's never antigenic. Coming to streptococcal pyogenic exotoxin, so it is responsible for the streptococcal shock syndrome and also responsible for a fever known as scarlet fever. Also, it is called as an erythrogenic toxin. When this type of toxin is injected in the skin, the erythematous reaction occurs, and scarlet fever is seen when homologous antitoxin is injected, and the rashes occur simultaneously, and this is known as Schultz-Charlton phenomenon. So this can be a type of MCQs, so I had boxed it up. Coming on to the enzymes, so there are totally 4 types of enzymes which we will see in that of the Streptococcus pyogenes. So the enzymes are streptokinase, deoxyribonuclease, NADase, and high hyaluronidase. So the streptokinase will promote lysis of human fibrin clot by converting plasminogen to plasmin, and it's protein in nature. It's also antigenic in nature, and it facilitates spread of the infection very easily. Coming on to the deoxyribonuclease, there are totally 4 deoxyribonucleases, that is type A, B, C, and D, in which B is the most antigenic in man. These enzymes liquefy viscous DNA present in pus derives from nuclei of necrotic cells. Coming on to the next one, there is NADase. It is a coenzyme of NAD and liberate nicotinamide from the molecule, and it's leukotoxic in nature. Coming on to the high hyaluronidase, it breaks the hyaluronic acid of tissues and favors spread of streptococcal lesions. So the pathogenesis, every organism has some pathogenesis behind it. So the pathogenesis of Streptococcus pyogenes is again divided into two, that is pyogenic infection and non-suppurative complications. Under pyogenic infection, there are different types of infections which spread, that is respiratory tract infection, skin infections, genital infections, and deep infections. So the respiratory tract infections will be like acute tonsillitis and scarlet fever, while the skin infection will include impetigo, burns, skin lesions, and the wounds. And the genital infections will be like bacteremia and necrotizing fasciitis. The deep infections will be like infections of the bone and joint, septicemia, and abscess of internal organs. Coming on to the non-suppurative complications, that is acute rheumatic fever and acute glomerular nephritis. So in acute rheumatic fever, it mainly affects the throat, while acute glomerular nephritis it affects that of the throat and the skin. So yeah, coming on to some of the important point of this part. So the main point in the antigenic structure is you have to write about the 3 parts of the antigenic structure. There is the capsule, group-specific polysaccharide antigen, and the tissue-specific antigen. Some important points of the toxins. So there are totally it is divided into 2 toxins, that is hemolysin and streptococcal pyogenic exotoxin. Under hemolysin, it is divided into streptolysin O and streptolysin S. There are totally 4 types of enzymes, that is streptokinase, deoxyribonuclease, NADase, and high hyaluronidase. And the pathogenesis will include the main point, that is pyogenic and non-suppurative complications, under which the pyogenic will have different types of infections, and non-suppurative will include the 2 things, that is acute glomerular nephritis and acute rheumatic fever. So coming on to that of the lab diagnosis of some of the this organism. So the lab diagnosis will again divided into 2 based on the suppurative infections and non-suppurative infections. So suppurative infections can be diagnosed with the help of some specimens. So each organism, they will have a specific specimen from which the organisms can be derived. So the specimen here it is collected from the lesion site, such as the swab, pus swab, and blood. The collection and transport. The collection and transport of the specimen should be done in a sterile container following all aseptic mediums. Also, the specimen is transported in a Pike's transport medium, which is one of the important MCQs. And the gram staining smear, that is gram positive cocci, they are arranged in chains and indicative of streptococcal infections. The culture, as we read before, the blood agar is the culture with at a temperature of room temperature, that is 37 degrees Celsius, for a time of 18 to 24 hours. Hemolysis is seen under the anaerobic condition or at a 5 to 10% CO2 level. The selective media is crystal violet agar, which is again and also an MCQ. Coming to the catalase test, it is catalase negative in nature, and the morphology is like it's circular with 0.5 to 1 millimeter in diameter, which is low convex zone with beta hemolysis. Coming to the antigen detection test, the antigen detection test is done by ELISA, that is enzyme linked immunosorbent assay, and the agglutination test. And the molecular method is DNA probes and the PCR method. Coming on to the non-suppurative complications, that is in rheumatic fever and acute glomerulonephritis, serological test provides retrospective evidence of streptococcal infections. Coming on to the treatment. The treatment is done with the help of penicillin G, which is the drug of choice, and if patients are allergic to penicillin, erythromycin or cephalexin are the drug of choice. So here hence the Streptococcus pyogenes, which is an essay question. We enter into another group of the Streptococcus, that is Enterococcus. So yeah, the Enterococcus will belong to group D Streptococci. The property is that it is an inhabitant of the human intestine. It is positive for bile aciculin hydrolysis test, and it is heat resistant, and it grows in 0.5 percentage of NaCl. Grows in 45 degrees Celsius at pH of 9.6, which is a basic pH, and it is positive for PYR test. Also, it is resistant to SXT, that is trimethoprim sulfomethoxazole. In McConkey's agar, they grow as tiny pink color colonies, and gram staining they appear as paired oval cocci which have short chains. The species are Enterococcus faecalis, Enterococcus durans, and Enterococcus faecum, in which the Enterococcus faecalis is the most common one, and it is identified by formation of mannitol, sucrose, asculin, sorbitol, and produce black colonies when they grow on telluride blood agar. E. faecalis isolated from urinary tract infection and wound infections. Also, also in use, also they causes like subacute bacterial endocarditis, septicemia, and periodontitis. Resistance may be to penicillin and other antibiotics, but vancomycin can be used here. But nowadays, even vancomycin resistance have been developed. So coming on to some of the important points of this slide, that is the laboratory diagnosis will may the main points are like you should not forget about the Pike's transport medium and the crystal violet agar, which is the selective media. Coming on to that of the treatment, penicillin, erythromycin, and cephalexins are the drug of choice. And another group of streptococcus, that is the Enterococcus, which the main points are like it belongs to group D streptococci, inhabitant of the normal intestine of human, and it is resistant to SXT, that is sulfomethoxazole trimethoprim. And the McConkey agar, it shows pink color colonies. The main organism is Enterococcus faecalis, which causes SBE, that is subacute bacterial endocarditis, and it is resistant to penicillin. So if it is resistant to penicillin, vancomycin is the drug of choice. So yeah, coming on to the main part, which is very important in the terms of dentistry. So coming on to the Streptococcus viridans, which is a very important short note in any kind of university papers. So Streptococcus viridans produce alpha hemolysis on that of the blood agar, and it is known as viridian streptococci because it produces greenish discoloration on that of the blood agar. They are the normal commensals of mouth and upper respiratory tract. Also, Streptococcus viridans includes Streptococcus mitis, Streptococcus aeruginosus, and Streptococcus bovis group. Each group contains many species, and Streptococcus aeruginosus includes Streptococcus milleri and group F Streptococci. This group can include Lancefield A, C, F, G, and none at all. Ordinarily, they are non-pathogenic, but occasionally it may cause diseases. Streptococcus viridans is associated with dental caries or subacute bacterial endocarditis. Streptococcus mutans. So I have made it in an easy flowchart form so that it's very easy to remember. Like Streptococcus mutans cause dental caries, which breaks the dietary sucrose and produce acid and tough adhesive dextran. So what does this acid do? The acid will go and damage the dentin, while the dextrans will bind to the food debris of that of the mucous membrane and that of the bacteria and produce bacterial plaques, leading to caries ultimately. Streptococcus mitis, its predominant agent of urogenital and gastrointestinal tract, causing endocarditis in people with pre-existing valvular heart disease and congenital heart disease and person undergoing cardiac surgery. So yeah, in the dental procedures such as extraction of tooth, it causes transient bacteremia, which gets implanted on that of the damaged or prosthetic heart valves or the congenital heart disease patient, and it grows into a vegetation, and thus antibiotic prophylaxis is suggested in these kinds of people. Generally, viridians are penicillin sensitive. Some strains of viridians are resistant to penicillin too, and hence appropriate antibiotic sensitivity of these bacteria must be determined for appropriate treatment of endocarditis. So the takeover message from this slide will be Streptococcus viridians. The main points are like alpha hemolysis on the blood agar causes dental caries and subacute bacterial endocarditis. Dietary sucrose break down into acid and dextrans, which affects the dentin, leading to caries ultimately. And these bacteria gets disseminated and gets into a vegetative form on the heart valve, leading to bacterial endocarditis. Viridians are generally penicillin sensitive. So these are the main points and takeover message from this slide. Yeah, thank you. We complete here the Streptococcus chapter, and if you had liked my class and the way of teaching, please do like and subscribe if you found it useful. Thank you very much once again.